Hello everyone, welcome to the Northland Artists Conversation. My name is Mark Kelly, I'm your host for these amazing podcasts. Thank you very much for joining us, we do appreciate it. If you're new to the podcast, thank you very much, it's nice to see you. We're a podcast that talks with creative people throughout Northland of different sort of genres that cover as wide a range as possible. And if you're a long-time listener or viewer, again, thank you very much for continuing to support us. We really appreciate it. It's been an interesting. What are we? We're in March now, and it's it's officially almost the end of the first quarter. We are moving into autumn. Haven't really had much sun. It's been a bit of a weird one this year. 2023 started off weird. But, at Northland Artists Conversation, we keep going. Things are looking good. And I'm going to switch over to my close-up camera. Today's guest, Anna Terwiel. Wow. So Anna's really cool. I've known Anna for a couple of years now. I met her at Plunge Comic Book Convention 2021. And her and her friend Keely were there. Oh God, I feel like such an idiot. I made reference to confused Anna and Keely together, but that's a long story. We're going to fix that in the edit. And it was super cool to chat with her. She's one of those creatives that is just always creating in multiple genres, multiple disciplines, and she's got a lot going on. And get through the podcast, she's got some really funny stories. But when you get to the end, man, she's got a lot coming on and a lot coming up too, which is great. Really cool person. We had a good lot of laughs. A fun, nice, relaxed, easygoing podcast. I think probably producer Andrew's safe way to describe it. I'm getting a thumbs up from producer Andrew. So, tell you what, without further ado, let's sit down and have a conversation with Anna Terwiel. Actually have a particular starting format either.
Oh, fair enough.
I know, and it's what people. I think producer Andrew will just do whatever, and then we kind of go from there.
Sweet as. Just cut in when you want to.
Yeah. Well, I think when we did, you should check out the Tim Bell podcast.
I should.
You should.
Abrasive introduction video.
Yeah, he does. Tim talks about him and anywho.
I gotta watch it.
Anna Terwiel.
I don't think anyone has ever pronounced my name quite like that.
Thank you, Anna Terwiel.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for coming on the Northland Artists Conversation podcast.
No worries.
Yes, it is a worry because we've been trying to get you for months now, and you are just far too busy of a creative person.
Yeah.
And it's interesting for those of you that are watching. These are the notes that Anna has sent through. And normally I don't actually. I normally with these notes, I'll normally read them prior. No, I don't really reference them during the podcast, but it's interesting. So it has 4 questions on here, and one of the questions is, how did you come to be an artist? Have you always done your current outlet? And down the bottom you've put, I have too many outlets.
Yeah.
A ... So I'm looking forward to finding out what those other outlets are.
Yeah.
Because you've got the usual stuff. Photographer.
Yeah.
Actress. Event organizer.
Yeah.
Cosplay queen.
I love cosplay.
Yeah, well, that's how we met.
Yes.
That's how we met. We met at Plunge 2021.
Yes, when I just moved here.
That's right. Yeah, because you moved from Wellington, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah. You and it was you and Keely.
Yes.
What were you dressed as?
I was wearing Keely's Harley Quinn costume.
That's right, and she was wearing
my Huntress.
That's right. Yeah, I remember when we interviewed Keely, she sort of mentioned that.
Yeah, we swapped
as well. Yeah, yeah. But now is it your Facebook or your Instagram that's got all of the cool cosplay photo stuff that you've done?
My Instagram.
There we go.
Ginger Tea Time. I don't know why I named it like that. I needed a name, and I was like, that's it.
Well, look, there's a plus side to that. At least you didn't name it Gingivitis. Okay. Now that we're on a roll,
Woo!
Ladies and gentlemen, this so I obviously know Anna quite well. So this is going to be one of those conversations where it's going to be a lot of laughter, and a lot of mildly inappropriate stuff. Not Tim Bell levels of inappropriate, but mildly inappropriate.
I could only imagine.
We can, well, if you know Tim.
I know Tim.
So there you go. You Hi, Tim. Okay, so as I said before, you've got a ton of different creative outlets that you do, but let's go right back, and I mean like way back. After the time your mum and dad met, sort of around the time that you were kind of born, with someone. It's been interesting having a chat with people that are just like super creative, because often a lot of that comes from the home and being around people that are like mum's creative, dad's creative, or nowadays the two parents are creative. And then it just you get that all sort of bleeds together. What was home like for you?
Well, my mum's a doctor. We lived in Whangarei.
Okay.
Even further north than here.
Yes.
And my dad was a teacher and doing science and maths, and so completely out of the blue.
Wow.
My mum does play the guitar, and she's a musician.
Okay. Yeah.
And she performs in a group called the Spectacles.
The Spectacles.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I think my dad just was real intense in science things and just creating new things. So I have no idea where it came from. Also, I have 3 brothers, and I went, you do that, I'm going to do it too.
Right, okay, so you're sort of picking up a lot of what they were doing.
Yeah.
You're like, that looks like fun, I'll give it a whirl.
Yeah,
okay.
Absolutely.
Good attitude to have, especially in the creative segment as well. What was the very first creative outlet you had?
Oh.
We're going to get deep.
Very first.
Yeah.
It must have been songwriting, to be honest. So
how old would this have been?
This was primary school here in Whangarei.
Yeah.
It takes me back doing it. I wrote this song about the Lion King because I loved the Lion King so much.
Right, okay. Yep.
And I somehow ended up singing it to the principal, and we ended up, there used to be a thing called like the Big Sing, that all the primary schools in Whangarei would get together.
Okay.
And so me and my brother and another person from our school ended up singing the song that I composed about the Lion King. There was no reference of the Lion King in it, but that was my inspiration. At this big thing in the Captain Bougainville Theatre in front of hundreds of people.
What? Okay. Okay, so it's a song. Is it like Tenacious D's tribute? Because it's not the greatest song in the world, it's just a tribute.
It was, I think it was a terrible song, and it ended up having, I went to a religious school, so it ended up having some religious connotations in the end. Some of the words got changed, not my decision, but to get it on stage, I would change it.
Censorship, yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
But yeah, that's...
Can you remember what the song was about? Like, it's Lion King inspired.
Yeah.
But can you remember what... Yeah, because obviously you're not going, I love the Lion King. You're not referencing it. It's not like a direct reference.
Yeah, I can't remember the song to save my life at all. I wish there was like a recording of it, but I don't think there is.
Oh, that's why we have YouTube nowadays.
Yeah.
If anyone out there has a recording of it, please feel free to send it into hello@northlandartistsconversation.co.nz. Thanks, guys. We will use that. Okay, so did you write the music and lyrics, or did you just write the lyrics?
I wrote the lyrics and the kind of the music progression, but there wasn't any backing track when we sang it. It kind of came out a bit angelic and didn't need a backing track for it.
Okay, right.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Angelic. Okay.
It's the only way I can...
Was it a cappella?
No, I think we just sang the same song together, me and my brother.
Okay.
Just same words.
Right, okay. Getting those harmonies going on.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. So this is primary school, yeah?
Yeah.
We moved to intermediate.
Yeah.
Are we still creative? Have we discovered other things?
I've discovered the trumpet as an instrument.
Huh. Okay.
Kind of out of left field.
Yes, very much so.
That came about, I think I was in Young Mariners. No, even before then.
What is Young? Hang on.
Young Mariners is sailing. Like,
Sailing.
it's like Scouts, but
Right.
girls only.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
Cool, okay.
I did that for a bit, but...
Right, okay, nice. So you can still, Ora me shanty and stuff like that. Anyway, okay, so you've young mariners and you've discovered the trumpet.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because of the Anzac Day.
You wanted to be the bugle player?
I wanted to be the bugle player, and that's the kind of the one song that I can still play off memory because you don't actually press any buttons. It's all just controlled.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. Can you give us that? No,
Should have brought it along. Just
Yeah, that'd be great. Okay, so how long did you play trumpet for?
I played for 9 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I grew up in Whangarei youth music.
Yeah.
Went from what was junior band, then went to cadet band, concert band, and joined the orchestra because they played the Lord of the Rings theme song.
That's the part I was searching for. Yes, Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
Now, I'm curious to know how important was and is Lord of the Rings to you?
It's still very important. I had my 30th birthday last year. It was Hobbit themed, so it's still very important.
Yes. Hell yes.
Because why not?
I mean, fucking A.
I
said Whangarei, not the other words.
Oh, that's good.
And producer Andrew, stop trying to laugh in the background.
I'm going to use that.
Yeah. That's it. Just say it real fast. And you're like, what'd you say? I said Whangarei.
Yeah.
Whangarei.
My hometown.
Yeah, exactly. I'm from here. I'm not. You are. Okay, so why is Lord of the Rings so important?
I think, a lot of it was because it was made in New Zealand, and I was like, oh my God. I was the kid who forced, when we went on family trips, we had the location book. I'm like, we're going here.
Wow.
We're going to this empty paddock in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
I did that quite a bit. It was made in New Zealand. Like, all these amazing people just came together and created this really, really awesome thing.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I've got the extended box sets.
Yeah.
I
watch them once a year, every year.
Nice. That with the original releases or the extended cuts?
Extended.
Okay, because that's 14 hours worth of filmmaking.
Yeah, it's my Christmas watching. It's got owls in it and a man with a big white beard.
It does.
It's a Christmas film.
So is Die Hard.
Die Hard is a Christmas film.
Die Hard's a Christmas movie.
Yeah.
Changed my mind. That's for you, Shane Evans. All right, so you're doing your trumpet stuff. 7 years. Is that the only sort of outlet you have at this time, or are you discovering other things?
I was also in a rock band, an all-girls rock band, and we entered Rock Quest.
This just gets even more exciting. Okay, so people that are watching and listening, this isn't in the notes. So, rock band.
Yeah.
Go.
There were 4 of us.
Yes.
I was guitar and trumpet because I thought
because those 2 instruments go so well together.
They really do.
Yeah, you'd have been great in Chicago.
Yeah. And so there was Keely on the bass.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, yep.
And then we had a girl, Linnea, who would play drums, and then Maya, who was the singer and guitarist as well, where I was just backup because all I know is a few basic chords.
And what were you called?
We were Mistaken For.
We were the Mistaken For, or just Mistaken For?
We were we were the Mistakes, then Mistaken For, and then Mistaken For Men because we thought it was hilarious.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Right.
I think we were together for about a year.
Yeah. What sort of music was it?
Poppy rock music with a trumpet.
Is there anything you you had to throw that trumpet part in there. Okay, so if you could pick...
I soloed it. You got to be experimental when you're young, don't you? With everything. Don't look it up on YouTube. You don't want to find it. It's really bad.
Broken them.
Producer Andrew, we're going to throw up some kind of photo or still in there of... Okay, this is going to be good. All right. We might even include a link to this trumpet solo as well if it's on YouTube. She's like, shit, what have I got myself into?
Oh, no.
Yeah.
We're so out of tune.
That's good. All right, if you were to... Let's...
Hey, I won women's musicianship that year in Rock Quest, so...
Nationwide?
No, just for Northland.
Oh, wow. Okay.
No, there was another Anna who was amazing.
Right.
who won everything when I was that age.
How dare she?
Yeah.
How old are we talking at this point?
I want to say 15, year 11.
Okay, right,
that
yeah.
kind of age.
Okay.
15 years ago.
Well, yeah, because you've had your 30th, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maths. There we go.
Good.
So it was really for you, high school was music?
And art and photography.
Of course.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So what sort of art?
I got super into graphic design and things.
Like what, comics and stuff?
No, more just kind of making up films and branding them as you did in high school.
Yeah. Because I know a guy that would really like you as a graphic designer.
I see.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Yep. Anywho. So what sort of imaginary films did you make up?
Oh, just ridiculous hipster ones. You know, it was the.
Oh, okay.
It was the period of
hipster films.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like very quirky. You know, it was when Juno was around. It was when, I can't even remember the Zoe Deschanel and.
Oh, 500 Days of Summer.
Yeah, like all those kind of ones. I was
Nick and
like,
Nora's Infinite Playlist.
Yeah.
Okay. Yep.
That kind of thing.
No, hipster's a really good choice of word.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hipster movies.
Hipster movies.
Yeah.
Okay. And then photography. Now, because obviously you have quite a nice website.
Do I? It's still up.
It is still up. And congratulations on coming to Carmo, because it says you still live in Wellington.
Travelled all this way.
Maybe update it.
Yeah.
I really appreciate the drive. So with the photography, because you're like a wedding photographer, right?
Yeah.
That's on the website. That's what you pitch yourself as, but it's kind of people in general. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. How did you get into that?
It was first camera I ever used that wasn't a film camera.
Yeah.
Was the one my dad would bring home from work. He was a computer person at Boys High.
Okay.
And it was one of those big square ones. You know, they're like this big.
Oh, well, they put a floppy disk in there.
Yeah.
Wow. That's the Sony Mavic.
And I would run around the house taking photos.
Mavica. Yep.
They held 20 photos. If
Yeah.
you're lucky, 2 megapixels each.
They were pretty amazing.
Yeah.
Revolutionary. Dad had one of those because he was a registered valuer, so he used to take photos on them and then put the photos into his computer and upload them into his reports.
Yeah.
Dad was ahead of his time. Good for Dad.
Yeah, that's good.
It's very cool. Okay, so, but you started off in film?
Yes.
Yeah? Because that's really cool.
Yeah.
So you had just a standard film camera. Now, I'm going to sound old. Back in the day, you didn't. Nowadays, you can rattle off 1 million photos.
Yeah.
But you only either had a roll of 24 exposures.
Yeah.
Or if you could afford it, 36.
Yeah.
That was a luxury film. And you always got one for free. So it was it would have 24 and you get 25, and if it was 36 it'd be 37.
Yeah.
And you couldn't just bang them off, go blah 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 blah. You actually had to do shot composition and stuff like that, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Is that sort of where you first started learning about that?
Yeah, I reckon it would be. I studied photography as well.
At high school?
I did it in high school
Yeah.
as a subject where there was no actual teacher, the correspondence ones, because I'm gonna do it.
Yeah, yeah.
You're not gonna stop me from doing it. So I did that, and I also did some night classes in Carmo at one point as well.
Wow, okay.
Because I was really interested, and the main thing I learned from it was how to read light.
Yeah.
If this light is here, what does that mean for everything?
Yeah.
And then other stuff came into it later on, but it was, how does one read light?
Yeah. That's always that and aperture.
Yeah.
Those two things kind of go hand in glove, really, because you can go, oh man, this person looks amazing. Let me take a photo of them, but they've got this big horrible light behind them, and you're like, why are you a black outline?
Yeah.
And you figure all those sorts of things out.
Yeah.
Okay. Between the trumpet, the graphic design, and the photography, which one did you kind of go with the most?
pretty much as soon as I finished high school, I kind of stopped the trumpet because
Okay.
I left Whangarei.
Okay, I thought you were going to say because it's not cool.
Nah, trumpet's always cool.
You drop a trumpet solo anywhere.
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
All right. Oh, I'm going to lose it. Oh, Whangarei.
Yeah. But, photography was the...
Okay, right.
Yeah.
And then you finished high school, and where did you sort of go from that point onwards?
I went to film school.
Really? Where?
Yeah, South Seas.
Okay, that's that North Shore?
Yeah.
Yep, okay.
Yeah, so I got a diploma in production design there
Oh, wow.
because I was like, oh, the makeup, the set building,
Yeah.
all that kind of stuff. And I loved my time there. And then after I finished, I was like, what do I do now? Do I have to go and actually work
Well, yes, that's often
instead
how it
of
goes.
building up my student loan?
Yes. Accumulate.
Yes.
Did you... So that raises an interesting point. You did production design at South Seas.
Yeah.
But had you done any sort of production design during high school? Like, had you, teched at, plays or anything along those lines? Or did you just kind of go into production design and you're like, that seems like the right thing to do?
I think I kind of just wanted to make cool stuff.
Okay, right.
So I was just like, oh, this is art-based. I was the kid who always did everyone's makeup before the school ball.
Yeah.
Terrible idea. I made someone look like a raccoon once, but we thought she looked great on the night.
No.
No.
There's a lot of shaking in heads for those of you that are listening. There's shaking of the
Oh, yeah,
heads.
sorry.
No, it's fine. You do the action, I'll articulate it. Okay, so you made someone... Yep. Mm-hmm. Like
if
a
you
raccoon.
ever get her on here, she'll agree.
Is she a creative person?
It's Keely.
No!
We've been good friends since about 11.
You made Keely look like a panda.
Yeah.
Raccoon, sorry.
But we thought she looked amazing on the night. She
Excellent.
did.
She did.
It was the early 2000s.
Early 2000s?
Well, kind of 2007, 8.
Okay. Because that would have been My Chemical Romance.
Yeah. Yes.
The
Scene
emo
queens.
years. Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep. All the chains hanging from the pockets and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Hair to one
Big
side.
hair.
Yeah. Go. My parents don't understand me.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's funny. The only reason I remembered that is because My Chemical Romance played last weekend.
They did.
I wish I'd gone.
Yeah. So many of my friends went. I was jealous.
Very jealous. Okay, so you're at South Seas. You're doing your production stuff. It's a combination of theoretical and practical.
Yeah.
My understanding. Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you have any desire to go from there into the industry, or were you like, no, my student loan isn't big enough. I need to make it larger. I need it to be 6 figures, so it's going to take a lifetime to pay off.
Yeah, there was a bit of that. I just didn't really know where to go. I wanted to do makeup at that point because I was 19 when I finished.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So I was kind of like, oh, yeah, I want to do this. And then I realised kind of quickly, no, I don't want to do that. So I came back to Whangarei
Yeah.
and worked in a cafe for 6 months.
Okay.
And then I studied photography at North Tech.
Ah, right. Okay. Because, could you not have done photography when you were outside of Whangarei?
I definitely could have.
You just chose...
I just kind of pushed it back and then was like, no, I can't make a job out of that. I'll never make money doing that thing. Which is hilarious because it's the thing I've...
But makeup and production design...
Yeah. Totally realistic.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep. Whangarei. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so how was it a degree or diploma for photography? Or was it a certificate?
Certificate.
A certificate.
Yeah.
Okay. Are you... It's a full-time course, so obviously you're not working?
No, yeah, I wasn't working. I was just photography.
Yep.
It was 6 months.
Oh, wow. Okay.
A real intense photography course. I don't think they do it anymore.
Okay.
But
I haven't seen it.
I
Great.
loved it. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was really good. I loved the cyanotype, and I learned how to develop actual, analog photos.
Oh, on actual film?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
So actually the whole manual development of the film, into the different... I can't remember the term of it, the mixtures, the liquids.
Yeah, yeah.
Developing There we
fluids,
go.
yeah.
There we go. Develop. Yeah, we'll go with fluids. Okay, cool. Developing fluids.
That's what they are.
They are.
But yeah.
I digress. Okay. And where did you sort of go from that point onwards? Because at this point you've gone production design, and then you've gone photography. Are you like,
I was realising what parts of the photography I liked, and I like taking photos of people.
Oh,
like that
right,
was,
okay, yeah.
Because I love talking to people and having that human connection, and then capturing like a moment that they have, and it's like, it's 1/100th of a second, but it's like this kind of, it's a moment, and I really love that.
Yeah.
And so from that, I also wanted to go into the kind of ridiculousness of everything, so I went and studied even more.
And what did we study?
I studied design for stage and screen at Whangarei.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Now, Whangarei is like, that's the pinnacle, right? That's, there isn't any higher. As someone who studied acting, I know that Toy is considered the bee's knees, the duck's nuts.
That's the place to go, yeah.
Yeah, okay. How was Toy for you, and how long were you there for?
I was there for 3 years.
Oh, wow, the whole time, yeah.
My bachelor's there in Wellington. It was a lot.
Yeah. I've heard it can be very intense.
Yes.
One of the guys from Cora, was it Toy?
Oh, yeah.
France, I think the bass player.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty sure it's the bass player. Was it Toy? And then Cora got big and he ended up having to leave. So, yeah. Okay, so now I did drama school as well, not Whangarei, which I had. And I know that it's very much an all-consuming, like you eat, breathe, sleep, shit. That's it. Yeah. It's all Toy.
Yeah.
How intense was it for you over that 3-year period?
It was pretty intense. Like, it was, I've now lost my train of thought. Yeah, it was a lot of work, lots of late nights staying at the school. My boyfriend at the time would bring me dinner, and because I wouldn't leave until 9:00 at night. And
oh, wow. Okay.
Especially when you'd have your big projects. But I loved third year was my favourite because we finally got to do practical things. Like we did a big theatre show and I got to do the costumes, which I love.
What show was it?
It was Into the Woods.
Into the Woods?
Yeah. Man,
that's a great musical.
Yeah.
That is super cool.
All the actors were really, really talented. And I worked with Cameron Rhodes, who, call back to Lord of the Rings, he was Farmer Maggot in Lord of the Rings.
Farmer Maggot?
Yeah. He's fantastic. And he was really good to work with on that.
Now, Farmer Maggot, he's in the
first one.
He's in the Shire.
Yeah.
At the party, isn't he?
No.
No?
He's the one that the Nazgul come to and say, like, Shire.
Oh, that guy.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay. Yep. I do know exactly the part as well.
Yeah. He's also been in some stuff recently as well on Netflix, which is really cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, it's... Okay. Segue.
I got it. My favourite thing about Whangarei is the cool guests that we would have, like Cameron Rose, but also I got to meet Sir Ian McCullen.
No.
He came and did some study at the school and then did like a talk afterwards. He just jumped in some second year classes and when they were filming The Hobbit.
Yeah.
And I was like, I have to go. So I went and talked to him and I starstruck.
Northland Artists Conversation is incredibly proud to support Rayburn House. Rayburn House is an art gallery located in the town basin in Whangarei. Rayburn House is the oldest house that's in the Whangarei city limits. Got converted into an art gallery and it's an absolutely amazing space. They hold exhibitions all year round, and it's a lot of different stuff in there. So you might have like pottery one week or digital media another. You might have like mixed media. Lots of really, really cool exhibitions they have in there. They have these really fun opening nights as well that you can go to if you're invited, and it's where the artists kind of get to mingle with other people as well, and you really get to celebrate what's on presentation, what's on offer. They've also got a lovely little area as well where they have sort of different little bits and pieces that you can buy if you want to as well, and really support Rayburn House. So such a fantastic organisation. Northland Artists Conversation is incredibly proud to support Rayburn House. So I guess as someone who has a fascination with Lord of the Rings and was super passionate about it, having Sir Ian McKellen just sort of come in and hang would have been like a dream come true for you.
It really, really was.
Was he able to sort of impart any production knowledge? Because obviously he's a very hugely respected actor.
Yeah.
But being on something like Lord of the Rings and working with Weta, he would have seen a lot of things. Was he able to impart any of that, the knowledge that he'd seen, or was he strictly there for the actors?
He was there for everyone, and I remember asking a question. I don't remember what it was.
Okay, that goes to my next question.
Yeah, that would have been amazing if I could remember.
That'd be great.
It's a bit over 10 years ago now.
So long.
But I just remember him just having such joy in what he was doing.
Yeah.
Like, he did this bit of, he acted like he was super, super old, and you're like, oh no, he's so old and like fragile.
So frail. Yeah.
He's so frail. And then suddenly he was just like, yeah, and that's how I act like my blah, blah, blah friend, like my 90-something-year-old friend.
Oh,
and
my goodness.
Oh,
wow.
Yeah.
Now, he was in New Zealand doing the Hobbit films, yeah?
Yes.
Okay, right. From your perspective, because obviously you're doing... What were you doing there? You were doing production... Design. Stage and screen. Could you have used that as an opportunity to get into Weta? Or like gotten some work experience or anything along those lines?
I could have gotten work experience.
Yeah.
I just didn't know the right people, and my timing was so wrong.
Oh,
with
really?
How it was all, because I was like first year or second year in the middle of study before we did secondments and things like that.
Yeah.
And I think by the time it got to that point, it was finished filming.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Okay, so did you get to do secondments in your third year?
Yes, I did it to a entertainment company who did like character entertainment. So I would do face painting and body painting. And,
oh, wow.
Yeah, and help make costumes and things like that.
Yeah.
And that was fun.
Okay. I mean, and that sort of ties in with what you're studying, right?
Yeah,
Which makes a bit of sense.
Yeah.
Okay. So you get your degree.
Yeah.
You get the piece of paper and you go, thank you very much.
Yeah.
Hello, $60,000 student loan.
Yeah.
What did you do from that point onwards? Because obviously you've had 3 cracks at the creative learning space. Yeah. Do you, at this point, go, you know what, now I'm ready to work?
Yeah, and I went and worked on some small budget films in Wellington.
Cool.
And then I realised I don't like being on set.
What?
I don't like, there was something about it that it wasn't for me.
Okay. So I've been fortunate enough to be on a few different sets in my time. A lot of standing around and doing bugger all. Yeah. You know, for that those key few minutes where you're like, man, we got to really deliver. Yeah. Can you sort of remember what it was for you that made you just go, yeah, nah?
I think it was, I can't even think what it is. It was a lot of, you need to be quiet. There's some fun personalities that you have to deal with.
Yes, there always is.
But that's in every industry.
Yes. Bigger egos in film, though.
Lots of big egos. Yep. And then there was just, I found more joy in looking after one of the actors' kids than I did doing the work that I was paid there to do.
Okay. On these short films, are there sort of anyone of note?
I did the makeup for Sweet Maiden's Blush. So that one's with Midiama Ralph is one of the lead actors.
Okay.
And Renee, and I cannot for the life of me remember Renee's last name at all.
Renee.
Yeah, Renee. You may know her as the person who did the skit on, it might have been Seven Sharp. Do you remember when there was that Parliament, and it might have been during COVID, might not have, and some kids came in the background, and then like the nanny like dives towards the kids.
Yes.
She did a skit on that, but
that
she just starts picking up the kids and looking after them.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Right. So a bit of sketch comedy.
Yeah,
there.
she's a great comedian.
Okay.
She's fantastic.
All right. And then, okay, so you've had this revelation. You've done, the better part of 6 years of study, give or take?
Only 4.
4?
Yeah.
And a half?
Yeah. Yeah, I've already, 4.5 years of study.
4.5 years of study. And then you go, nah.
Yeah.
And then what do you do? Because you've been creative. You've been a creative person for so long. You go through high school, you go study, you have a bit of a break, you do more study, you have a bit of a break, you do even more study.
Yeah.
And then we have the nah moment.
My nah moment happened. And at that point, I was starting to get into cosplay because, you know the movie Frozen? You may have heard of it.
I think there was a dual sigh from myself and producer Andrew. If we got that,
I think you may know it.
Yes. Can we just let it go?
That was shit.
Thanks, producer Andrew. Leave my dad jokes alone.
But that film had a princess. At the time, my hair was the same color. My name
white?
it was the Princess Anna. Her name, when I first read it, was Anna because that's how I pronounce my name. Because I was Princess Anna.
You are
Princess Anna.
You're Princess Anna.
So I decided I was going to make this costume.
Okay.
And then me and one of my friends decided, hey, let's do princess parties as like a gig.
Yeah.
So she made these amazing costumes. I didn't end up making them, but she was trained as a seamstress. And
Okay. You promoted them? Did the makeup for them?
No, I was the princess.
You were the princess. You were the talent.
I was the talent. And I did the makeup, booked things like...
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I started doing that because I realised on that film set, I really get along with kids. I like kids. Before that, I was, young 20-something-year-old.
Yeah.
No kids around me ever.
Yeah.
And they go, I can get along with a 3-year-old. Great.
Well, yeah, I mean, I guess because obviously when you're at Toy Whakaari, you're not really going, yes, now you must do blah, 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 blah. Stop that, Daniel. Just go sit down in the naughty corner.
Yeah.
Not really a lot of interactions there and something like that.
No.
Okay, so Lord of the Rings doesn't inspire you to cosplay. Go figure.
I still haven't cosplayed from it.
What?
Sorry,
producer Andrew, that's going to peak really loud. Sorry to our listeners and viewers. Andrew is going to try his best to balance that out, and I also apologise for sounding like Ned Flanders.
We're all good.
We're all good. Thank you very kindly.
Good. Oh, perfect.
Okay, right. So we have Eowyn.
Yeah.
Could have cosplayed as her.
She's great, but I'm more of an Eowyn.
An Eowyn?
Yeah.
Okay, not Eowyn.
Not Eowyn.
Okay.
I'm more Eowyn.
Eowyn. And who else is there? Galadriel?
Yeah.
I see, I got that one right.
And you've got Rosie, Sam's wife.
Oh, I thought you meant O'Donnell. I was like, I don't recall her being in that film, but it's like an afterthought with the jar talking, and Rosie O'Donnell appears. She was the elf. She was Gimli's wife. Okay, so you've never cosplayed as Lord of the Rings.
I've never cosplayed as Lord of the Rings.
Why?
I think the pressure's too much.
Is like the sacred thing? Would you feel like I must do this justice?
Yeah. It's that thing of if I do it, I have to do it perfect. And that's going to cost a lot of money.
That leads into my very next question.
Yeah.
Now, cosplay. Can you explain what cosplay is for those people that don't know?
So cosplay is pretty much just you can make a costume, buy a costume, hire one. It's dressing up and just showing your appreciation for the character. And like some people do it because they want to make cool, intricate things. Yeah. And it's just also something to make. I love dressing up with my friends and going to conventions and being really silly. And just also, it was that thing of you grew this kind of community around you of people who loved the same thing you did. And it was easy to recognize them because they're dressed.
Yeah. You have the normies.
Yeah. I have never been a normie.
And then the cosplayers.
Yeah.
So, okay. Cosplay, it's a combination of two words, but what is it? It's
costume play.
Costume play.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's having fun with costumes. That's the gist of it.
And I guess this, as someone who's never really done it, I mean, yes, I've worn costumes for plays and theatre productions that I've been in, but this all kind of has an impetus back to conventions from America, right?
Yeah.
So I guess the big one would be San Diego Comic-Con.
Yes.
It's kind of the gold standard.
Oh, there's another one too.
Oh, okay.
Dragon Con.
Clearly a gold standard. Never heard of it.
It is the cosplay one.
Is it the cosplay?
It's the cosplay one.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then we move to New Zealand. We've got Armageddon.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's the gold standard for New Zealand, right?
Yeah.
Is as a cosplay representative person and enthusiast
Person who cosplays. Yes.
It's a person who cosplays.
Yeah.
Do you go to the Armageddons all the time? Is that where you sort of thought, oh, I am amongst my friends and my people?
Yeah. Yeah, like I started going, I think my first one was 2010. I didn't cosplay. I didn't understand it.
You went as a normie?
I went as a normie. My friend cosplayed. Keely.
I gotta get you on the podcast, Keely. Keely Murphy, if you're listening, I'm coming for you, pal.
And the whole time I was like, why? I don't understand it. Like, why are you dressed? If I want to see the person in the costume, I'll look at a picture. Like, I didn't understand it.
Okay.
Until
I
did it. And then I was like, this is so much fun. It's so ridiculous. And the excitement that people get when they see you dressed up as their favorite character, or like, especially if it's like a side character and they recognize you and they're like, oh my God. And you get super excited as well because you're like.
And also popular with kids.
Yes.
So if you're going as Princess Anna.
Yeah.
You would have been immensely. Did you go to one of the Armageddons?
I've gone as Elsa once.
Okay.
I went to Wellington and it took me, I can't remember how long, a very long time just to do, because it's in the Westpac, what used to be the Westpac Stadium, Sky Stadium now.
Oh, yep.
And it's in the kind of underneath the stands.
Yeah.
It took me hours to get around from all these children stopping.
So how many times did you get stopped?
Oh, so many. Like, and the thing is, I am that person who will stop and I'll converse with the child.
Yeah.
Like, I will not try and break the illusion that
you're that character.
Yeah. I commit.
Yeah. So you'd be good at Disneyland.
Yes. Well, I wanted to be a face character for a long time.
That would have been amazing.
And then I realized they probably don't get paid much. And
they don't.
I don't really want to
probably about as much as some other jobs.
Yeah.
It's an inside joke.
But yeah, so
if you know, you know. Yeah, sorry, carry on.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, so it was. I've completely lost it now.
Disney princess,
yeah.
But then not breaking character for kids.
Yeah. I'd never break character for kids. I don't think I ever have. Like,
that's so cool though, man. That's given those kids an experience, because obviously you're there that particular year, and that's like fun for you. It's the kind of the one time of the year where you can go just all out.
Yeah.
And I mean, like, just go. I've saved for this for 6 months. I've got everything I need. I'm paying a small fortune to look this amazing.
Yeah.
And you're dropping it and you're going there. But then for those kids, it's also probably that one time of the year where they go, oh my God, it's somebody.
Yeah.
And they just lose their minds.
You're like a little celebrity to them.
Yeah.
And it's very cute. Just, I'm pretty sure, I hope my friend never shows this to their niece. I dressed up as Elsa and sold things. Like, I was working a stall down on the Canopy Bridge doing the markets one day. It was when I was really doing the kids' party thing. And I was like, I want to bring it to Whangarei just as like a little thing. And I'm like, I'll be here. And so they bought their niece, who was 3 at the time, to meet Elsa.
Yeah.
And she still thinks that, like, that was Elsa. And I'm like, that was Elsa.
Bless.
Doesn't believe in Santa.
Never break that.
Believes in Elsa.
Never break that. That's so... Is there a Whangarei cosplay scene?
Yes, there is. We're trying
Really?
to build it more and more. Yep. So it's Northland cosplay.
Okay,
Whangarei cosplay.
is it a statement or a question? It feels like there's a question mark. You're not even sure of your own thing?
I can't remember the name of it. I think it's Northland cosplay.
Cool.
Maybe.
Don't add the question mark at the end of it. It's called Northland Cosplay !
If you search Northland and cosplay on Facebook, it will come up.
Producer Andrew, can you just quickly do that while we're talking now?
Cosplay Northland, maybe? It's one of those.
Oh my god. So decisive.
Yeah. We had a picnic the first year that I came up here.
Does that still happen?
I want to do more, but I got kind of busy doing other things.
Yes. Now let's talk about some of those other things, shall we? I think that's a great idea.
Okay, yeah.
You organised a Halloween cabaret last year, didn't you?
I did.
You did. Now that's very
it.
cool. How did that all go? And sort of what's involved in something like that?
So pretty much I was doing a musical.
Yeah.
And the musical Legally Blonde.
Yes.
And I met all these new people coming back into the theatre. And I was like, I really want to do this. This is something I just want to do.
Yeah.
And then one of them just went, let's do it. So
nice.
We did it, and I asked certain people, would you do this? Like, here's a song. And so it was vintage Halloween cabaret inspired.
Okay. Yep.
So most of the songs were like either they were old songs or they were popular songs, but they had that kind of jazzy vintage.
The old-timey feel.
Yeah.
Okay. Successful?
We completely sold out.
Successful.
And we had people looking for tickets but couldn't get in.
Wow.
So this year we want to go bigger and better.
Go bigger.
Yeah.
I've just been reliably informed. You can check out Cosplay Northland.
Oh, it's
so whatever
fantastic.
Anna said is wrong. It is Cosplay Northland.
It's Cosplay Northland?
Cosplay
Okay.
Northland. Producer Andrew's actually written it up on the board for me as well.
Fantastic. I knew it was one of the
That's
two.
it. Well, you had a 50-50 chance of getting it right.
Yeah.
That's fine. Okay, so this year's cabaret is going to be bigger, better, more grandiose, more spectacle. You're in the development stages at the moment?
Yes. So very early stages. I'm at the moment going around asking certain people if they'll be involved. It's a lot more structured than the last one. I'm theming it a bit more, so I'm going, here's 3 songs you can pick from.
Yeah.
This is your theme. Go. Here's your provocation. Create.
Nice.
If you struggle, let me know and I'll help.
Yeah. So we've got the Halloween cabaret.
Yeah.
And then you are also a newly elected member.
Oh, yes.
Of
the Whangarei Theatre Company.
Congratulations.
Committee.
That's very cool.
Yeah.
So you're going to kind of have a little bit of input as to
hopefully
what comes and what gets done, which is wicked. Okay.
Yeah.
So I find it. I'm gonna say this, and it's not a lengthy statement. It's just an observation. So you were someone who was more behind the scenes.
Yeah.
For just a long period of time, and then now all of a sudden through cosplay, you've stepped out to be front of house and visible.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because obviously you've done Legally Blonde.
Yeah.
That's being on stage and doing the singing.
Yeah.
Do you think for you that was a natural transition? And going back, knowing what you know now, do you think you would have been on stage more earlier on as opposed to being behind the scenes?
I feel like Whangarei, there's more opportunities to do it.
Yeah.
Pretty much you go, I want to try this. So you go in and try it. Like, there's no pay barriers. There's no travel barriers because Whangarei is such a small place. Like, and if you want to get involved, you just kind of turn up.
And do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then if you want to do something, you say you want to do it. And somehow it just happens.
That's very cool because, you'll have people that'll be behind the scenes for years and decades, and that's kind of all they do. You have people that, might be on stage or on camera and then transition to behind the scenes.
Yeah.
You don't really hear a lot of it going the other way, though.
Yeah.
So I think that's actually quite unique and very cool, too.
Yeah.
Do you think that gave you an extra insight? You know, because obviously, you know, you've done a lot of backstage work. You've done a lot of the production and design. You've been on sets with questionable people. So now that you're in front of the stage, you kind of have a reference point of, well, I'm not going to be like this.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, it's that thing of, I want to create cool art with lots of people and listen to them as well when they have input. Like, because I don't want to be that person who goes, no, I'm not listening to your idea at all.
I'm an artist.
Yeah, I'm right, you're wrong.
Yeah. Yes.
But yeah, I don't know. There's something that's really come through. Like, yes, I get a bit judgy when I watch shows because I'm like, oh, they could have done this better. They could have, but that's me just, I've fine-tuned how I watch things where other people won't notice them at all.
Yeah.
But I go like, oh, this thing bugged me.
Mm-hmm.
How can I help improve that?
Sounds vaguely familiar, doesn't it, Producer Andrew?
Yeah, I was just going to say.
Yes. So just for a bit of context, last Friday or the Friday before, one of the Fridays, not too long ago, Producer Andrew messages me out of the blue and he goes, bro, I think I've been editing too much. I was like, why is that? And he goes, because I'm watching something and I can see everything they've done and it's shit.
I can see how many takes they did.
It was just, and then he recorded a video clip and I was like, I can see exactly where they went wrong.
Yeah.
And it was just so they were showing they were telling instead of showing.
Yeah.
Which is terrible.
Yeah.
And it was just awful. And it was a great clip to see him through, Producer Andrew. Thank you for that. But yeah, okay, so we've got Halloween Cabaret.
Yeah.
Committee for Whangarei Theatre Company.
Yeah.
And a small convention that you're sort of putting together. Let's talk about that.
So this it's growing at the moment. So
it's been a work in progress,
It
right?
has been.
Yeah.
We've planned out the whole thing and then kind of COVID happened and then it kind of wiped it.
Yeah.
But now we're starting to come back and kind of figure out how we can do it. Where it's going to be is the main thing. But yeah, it's going to be a fandom festival. It's going to be about bringing all those things that you love, like, and learning how to do different things within the things that you love. Trying out a lot of new things as well,
which is cool. I mean, having that ability to learn from people that have done it. So, like, if you were to hold like a little seminar on makeup, or Keely was to hold something on costuming, for example.
Yeah.
You guys have got experience in the cosplay space.
Yeah.
So essentially, you're imparting your knowledge onto those that may have wanted to learn but not sure where to go.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's just also making those connections and having it so people don't think it's so unattainable, because that's what I used to think. I'd be like, I'll never be able to do that. I can't. It's so far away from my reality.
Yeah. Yeah.
How do I get there?
I'm stuck in a small city, nothing like that cool, like that's ever going to happen.
Yeah.
And then you bring it to people and they go, oh, actually.
Yeah.
It's close.
Absolutely.
Anything else coming up that's cool and exciting?
Not that I can think of.
No?
No.
I mean, you've got a lot, because you're still doing the photography as well, right?
Yes.
But, I mean, admittedly not as much.
Yeah, nowhere near as much as I used to, because
it
used to be one of my main money-making things. I was a photographer doing weddings, cosplay shoots, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Now I just do it as a fun outlet. Oh, I do have some cool things happening.
Thank you very much. Let's go. Let's go. Let's hear them.
So at the moment, I'm working with NYT and doing a collaboration of character creation, and I'll be capturing them with my camera, taking awesome photos of these. They're not going to be sci-fi, more fantasy-based characters.
Right, yep.
That they're going to do a bunch of work with as well. So it's going to be this kind of building up this thing, and we want to do a gallery showing at the end of it as well.
That would be wicked.
Yeah.
That'd be cool. See, you got more than you thought. Your cup runneth over.
Yeah, it keeps coming.
Yeah, I know. The hits just keep on coming. But that's the thing, right, is when you're a creative, you either do it a little bit or you just go full bore.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I get it. So, on that high note, thank you very, very much for coming in and sharing with us. Really do appreciate it, because I know that it's time out of your day and you could be really doing anything else. So, on behalf of the Northland Artists Conversation, the team and the people watching and listening at home, thank you very much.
No worries. Thank you for having me. It was fun.
Well, Northland Artists Conversation fans, there we go. Anna Terwiel. She, as I said at the start, super cool, amazing, such a great sense of humour. It's funny when she turned up. She was wearing a like a forest green dress, I guess you could call it, and it really, you can, if you're listening to the podcast, you won't appreciate it, but there was a lot of Lord of the Rings references in there, and it's her go-to, and she talks about watching it once a year. I think it's the whole series. Like, I think the 3 Lord of the Rings and then the 3 Hobbit films, or the 3 Hobbit films and then the Lord of the Rings films. She watches them once a year. She's dedicated and committed. But for someone that loves cosplay and stuff like that, it's pretty cool. Not something you really see a lot of. And I think that was the nice. The big takeaway for me out of all of this was the fact that she'd tried so many different disciplines. She'd tried music. I'm going to go to my camera, by the way. She'd tried music. She'd tried production. She tried photography, and then she tried stage and film work before she sort of settled on photography a little bit, but cosplay as kind of her big thing. And, sometimes some artists that we've had on the conversation, they find their one thing and they just stick with it. Some people sort of come into their artistic expression later on in life, and I can think of a couple of people where that happened. But then you've got some people that kind of have always sort of jumped into different creative endeavors, and that's how they've gone. And she's definitely that person. And it really shows her skill set now, because she's able to do a lot of different things. She talks about her Halloween cabaret, being a committee member with Whangarei Theatre Company, doing her convention that they're doing, and then the last one. I'm going to save the last one because I think the last one will be the coolest. So make sure you have a listen. Now, where can you, our wonderful audience, find out more? Well, here we go. You can find us for the visuals, you can find us on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube, all Northland Artists Conversation. You can find us on audio. We are on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Google Podcasts, all Northland Artists Conversation. And if you're watching and listening, and you would like to be involved, or you know someone that would be super cool in being on here, we would love to hear from you. We'd love to hear from them. They can email us, hello@northlandartistsconversation.co.nz. And if you'd like to support us a little bit more, we are also on Patreon. Now, Patreon is where you can donate a little bit of money to show your support for the podcast. We have 2 tiers. We have $5 per month, and that is called Cup of Coffee. And that's just a way of saying, look, we love what you're doing. You guys are really, really cool. Keep it going. Second one we offer is what we've affectionately called Coffee Addict, and that's $20 a month. And what that does, that gives you a couple of extra tiers. You get a shout out on the podcast right here, and you also get to know in advance who's going to be coming up as well, which is really, really cool. So we have 3 patrons at the moment. I'm going to include a third one because we've got a new one today. So first off, Dr. Lauren Roach, well, formerly Dr. Lauren Roach, the OG, the one that started it all. Thank you very much. Second one, Michael Boter. And our third one that we got today, Maggie Coco. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. Yep, that's amazing. And you can find that one of 2 ways. You can either go to Google, type in Patreon, that's Patreon, in the top right-hand corner, type in Northland Artists Conversation, log in, create an account, and then support us that way. Second way you can go is super simple. It's www.patreon.com/Northland Artists Conversation. Honestly, couldn't be simpler or easier if we tried. Going to throw back to my wide now. I'm going to share something with you guys, and this is really, really cool. So we've been doing this now for 9 months. 9 months we've been going. And, we're going to hit 1st of June, and it'll be a 1 year, which will be really, really amazing. We are getting some of the most unique and interesting guests coming up. Creative Northland had the Art Beat day down at the Rose Gardens in Whangarei. Was it last weekend or the weekend before? Might have been. It's been recent. And I got to go out and connect with a whole bunch of amazing people. So if you were someone that I spoke with, we will have emailed you, and we would love to get you on the show. So please make sure that you reply to our email, and we'll get you booked in, and you can come in, sit down in the chair, have a bit of a laugh, and just thoroughly enjoy yourself. And that's what we're here for. We're here to enlighten, illuminate, and have a good time. We're here to let our whole community know that there is an amazing talent in Northland, and we're here to celebrate that. So, from myself, Mark Kelly, your host, producer Andrew behind the cameras, and the rest of the Northland Artists Conversation team, thank you very much. So I'll say this. Thank you very much for watching the Northland Artists Conversation, and we'll see you guys real soon.